You just make yourself comfortable. I'm going to talk to the... Okay. I know nothing about this lassie. I don't even know her name. I didn't ask because I want it to be reasonably sort of sight unseen. What I hope to do, and you know the best laid plans of mice and men gang after glay or something, is focus on the sort of probing questions I might ask at the beginning of a whole session of analysis, let us say. I mean, I don't know, the client might want something utterly different. I've now got to put that back. But having said that, that's my plan for the purposes of demonstrating this to you. Obviously, I'm going to have to go with the client, because if the client decides they want to do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to have to go there, basically. Just because I'm a nice therapist sort of thing. But I'm going to try and demonstrate all the guff that I've been talking about earlier. Okay? I shall drop my voice a little bit. Now, I gather that this thing on my bosom is recording it, okay, so that we can play it back at some stage? Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be today, but, you know, we could if necessary. Yeah. So you will hopefully hear what I say. I do drop my voice, so, you know, if you're sitting in the background, ooh, it might be a bit of ear strain. If you find that you can't hear and would like to hear, if you don't want to hear, well, it doesn't matter, but if you can't hear and you would like to hear, then I would invite you to come forward. Don't complain to me that you can't hear if you're sitting in the back row and you haven't come forward and sat on the floor or whatever. Okay. Right. Okay, let's go. Are you all right with these lights?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, first of all, I have to ask you your name.
Bernadette Markey.
Bernadette.
Mm-hmm.
Bernadette will do. And tell me, how long have you been on the course? Are you qualified, or are you training, or are you...
I get my advanced diploma today.
Oh, today, of course, yes. So how long have you been training for?
About a year and a half.
Uh-huh. And you've done the practical and the written stuff, yes?
Yeah.
How did you find it?
Mind-boggling.
Oh, right, okay.
Very interesting.
But mind-boggling?
Mind-boggling.
Yes. Yeah. And are you glad you did it?
Yeah.
What's your view of the prospect of working as a therapist?
I'm really looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. And have you done an analysis?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, yes, of course, you have to do an analysis in order to graduate. Mm-hmm. Ah, yes. I keep forgetting these things. How did you find your analysis?
I found it quite good, and I learned a lot about resistance in it, my own resistance.
Right, right. Do you think it was resistance?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I'm just going to talk to them. So we've got somebody here who has done the whole of the course, done all the practicals, written all those essays, read my blasted books, you know, the whole bit, done an analysis. How long ago, may I ask, Bernadette?
I finished my analysis first week in May.
Right, okay. So that's relatively recently, okay. So that has told me and you guys where Bernadette is right now. The only reason I ask her that is we got to start somewhere, okay. And it's appropriate in this environment for me to ask that because it's a conversation piece. Do you see what I mean? Okay. Tell me about your life, what you're up to now. Are you married? Children?
I'm divorced. I have 6 children. They're all grown up now.
Wow.
I'm with a partner now.
You are with?
I'm with a partner for
yes.
4 years.
Happy?
Yeah.
Oh.
I have 15 grandkids. Another one on the way.
Oh, fantastic.
I really enjoy those.
I should think so.
I'm starting a business course on the 11th of June.
Yeah.
And I'm really trying to get my professional life into order.
Right.
And I am really enjoying life.
Goody, goody. The partner that you have, is he the father of all the 6 children?
Oh no, they're from my husband.
Oh, right, okay. I'm just going to talk to the group. Okay, so now you've got a picture of Bernadette. She's reasonably happy with life at the moment. She's got a new partner, 15 grandchildren. I mean, isn't that wonderful? And, but a relationship that went wrong, sour. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we've got current life. Yeah, okay. Past life in terms of relationships, probably not okay. So the next thing that I could ask Bernadette is about this past relationship. Now that might be going for the jugular, but tell me about this past relationship.
Definitely the jugular.
Now the reason I do that is that I can gauge that we could just, you know, dip our toe in the water and ask about this relationship. I could have got it wrong. We shall see.
Okay.
Do you feel able to talk about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I got married to him when I was 16. And we were 27 years together. It was very violent. And he almost killed me twice. And the actual thing I wanted to deal with was he poured petrol over me.
Right.
I was having flashbacks lately on that.
Right, okay.
So I kind of want to deal with that bit.
So that's why you're sitting there, you want to deal with the fact that he tried to kill you a couple of times. Okay. Can I talk to the class? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, I did hit the jugular. If Bernadette was an ordinary client, I probably wouldn't have done it like that. But I just thought this is what we could talk about. Now, if Bernadette was an ordinary client, I might find that that's exactly an appropriate thing to do. But I'm now in a dilemma. Do I talk about other things, or do we go straight into this? Do you see what I mean? I'm at a bit of a crossroads at the moment. But what it's saying to me is, here is a girl with a traumatic life with some unfinished business. Okay? Now, in my professional judgment, you might say, is we will probably look at this in hypnosis, which we'll do. But for the purposes of this exercise, we'll perhaps talk about some other stuff. Notice when we talked about this experience, we had an abreaction from Bernadette. We were all aware of that. Physical, emotional, the whole thing. Her whole body told me everything I wanted to know, kind of thing. And because Bernadette has already done an analysis, we were on a different plane in that she knows her stuff and she knows what's next on the agenda and she knows where to go. With a raw client, they may not know this information. So it may come as a bit of a shock, but they may be absolutely ready to deal with it. These are all the sort of imponderables of being a therapist. Well, do I go down this road? Do I press that button? Do I go along here? Do I just shut up? Do you see what I mean? But I am living with uncertainty. Just as all you guys are living with uncertainty because we want to know what happens next. Okay. Excuse me a second. This is trying to kill me off, but hey. Can you tell me anything else about you?
About me?
Yes.
Well, as a child, I always wanted to work with people with the mind.
Right.
I used to have my dolls all lined up, you know, in the hospital, as you do.
Yeah.
And fixing up the animals and that. I loved school when I went to it at the start for the first couple of years, and then, like that, went downhill.
Right.
Coming to the end of school, it was actually during your exercise this morning that I was kind of going through this.
Yeah.
Coming near the end of the school term, I was kind of really got to like school again.
Yeah.
But then I had to go to work. I never went to secondary school, just primary, because I felt that I needed to help Mum out. So
Right.
I decided then that I would stay at work. I was 13 and a half.
I'm just going to write some things on the board. Sorry about this. What I want to do is, actually, if I can talk to everybody else first, we know there was a trigger point at 16. Is that the age that you had the petrol poured on you?
No, that was only 10 years ago.
Oh, right, okay. Aidan, do you think you could come fix this thing on my knickers? It's fallen off. And I can't get it on. Oh, no, wait a minute. If I put it on this side, it'll be right. Sorry about this. Sorry about this. Is it working all right now? Oh, great, yeah. So, so we've got teenage years were a bit iffy, yes? And we've got 10 years ago, trauma. Can't spell trauma. I'm sure Freud would make something of that. Just, can you give me a potted outline of your family?
My own children?
No, you were talking about Mum a second ago.
I have 5 brothers. Sorry, 6 brothers, 4 sisters.
And where do you come in the hierarchy?
4th youngest. So what I am is 9th.
4th youngest. So she's about in the middle, by the way.
Typical family.
Typical.
3-bedroom house. Dad was in the army, Mum was staying home. Always loads of kids. The older ones would have had families. There was loads of rows, with siblings mainly. Don't really know what else to say.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's great. That's just the sort of notes I'd make. Because I'm trying to get, if you like, a shape of this family. Because once I got a shape of the family, I can then ask questions about various people. Okay? You were talking earlier, Bernadette, about you stayed at home to help Mum or something.
Yeah, well, I went to work to help Mum instead of going back to school.
Right.
Well, I was given the choice of whether I wanted to go back to school or whether I wanted to stay on at work, and she kind of advised me that, well, the money would be very useful at home.
And what's your opinion of that?
I really wanted to go back to work or back to school, but I just kind of went with the flow.
Can I just interrupt you and talk to the class? Did you all get that?